Okay, so let's look at something else, and I'm interested to see how the site handles multiple simultaneous logins. And in fact, I know because you're using ASP.NET Identity Provider, I know how it's going to handle it. But let's just humour me. We'll go through this exercise.
I shall humour you.
And then we can have a discussion about the legitimacy of it and whether or not it's a problem. So we'll log in with my valid account again and with my lousy password, and we'll log in to this browser session. And now what we'll do is we'll go and grab a new incognito session from over here, and we'll go to Sugar Learning. Let's see if we can select that field. sugarlearning.com, and we'll try and log in again. And just to sort of show everything lining up nicely together, we'll whack these over there. Where's that login? So I'm already logged in on the left, and now we've got a totally new browser session off to the right. What was my password? This is why I like having a password manager, because I don't think about it anymore. All right, so now we're logged in on both. And just to check that we're still logged in over here, if I go to, say, admin items, what do we get there? Okay, so I'm still logged in.
Yep, you're still there.
All right, so this often comes up in security findings, where a penetration testing company or even someone running automated tools might come back and go, look, you've got a risk in that these same credentials can be used on multiple different browser sessions at the same time.
Yep.
So before I diverge on that, how do you feel about that? Does that worry you?
Well, not right now. I mean, it's right now. It's this tool in particular may not have particular issues with multiple sessions that I can see, but I'm sure you're going to show me otherwise.
Yeah, and the reality of it is, you still need to have legitimate password, right? So this is not session hijacking.
No.
We've broken your credentials or anything like that.
Yeah, because we're not a highly sensitive product. I would have thought. It seems relatively innocent.
Yeah. Look, I think so. So, and again, I do see this come back from security findings, and sometimes it's not so much that it's a false positive, because it is what they say it is, but there's a business justification for it. So I think about sort of two ends of the extreme here. So when I log onto my bank, there's probably two things there. So number one is that your security, clearly you want heightened.
Yes.
The other thing is, though, that logging onto your bank, it's a very sort of discrete task. I'm going to log in here in this one window, and I'm going to do something in a very small time window, and then I'm either going to log out myself, or I'm going to get a cup of tea, and by the time I come back, they're going to log me out, because that's just what banks do.
Yeah.
So you really don't have multiple simultaneous sessions. Stack Overflow. I want to be logged in on my laptop, on my home PC, on my work PC, and my iPad. Like, I just want to be logged on everywhere, because when I want to go and ask a question or get an answer or something like that, I want that session to be...
And now I guess that's the same with something like Facebook.
Yeah, so Facebook is another interesting one. So, Facebook, typically people will log in, they'll remember their credentials, they'll have very long-running sessions, or certainly very long-running authenticated sessions, and that makes sense. So, I think you guys have done the right thing with this. And this is what the identity provider does by default. If you were to go down this path where you're saying, well, hey, why don't we make sure that you can't, you have another set of engineering challenges here. Because at the moment with the identity provider, you'll get a token set. So you'll get an authentication token.
Yep.
And in fact, if we go F12 here, we might maximize that window again, and we look at our sources, and we look at, what are we after? Resources.
Resources, yeah.
And we look at our cookies. We do have an ASP.NET application cookie here. So this is what's persisting it. Now, this is the only thing which is persisting this logged on session. So you've got nothing on the server saying Lars is currently logged in.
Oh, right. Well, you could have, though, but
well,
not
you would
by
have
default.
to build that.
Yeah, that's right.
So not by default with identity. And that's the problem, because if you've got nothing centrally to track whether you're logged on or not, then the second one can't say that you're already logged on.
No, it's a different client.
So that's the challenge there. So you would have to build all of the nuts and bolts to actually persist that, at least based on ASP.NET's identity implementation.
Yeah, right. No, that makes sense. So you have, you basically only have this on the client.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to, because I've seen banks do this on the server, obviously, but they've built their own proprietary system.
Yeah, and look, I mean, you could extend it to do it, and there's other products that can help you do it as well. But it's not something you get out of the box. And again, I don't think that in most cases it's a problem.
No.
But I think that developers should know that this is how it works.